What is going on, everybody? Nick Gaschler here, back again, and today we're going to be taking a look at Kyle Hamilton. There's going to be a lot of talk about how Kyle Hamilton is a blue chip player, and I agree with that. And then there's going to be a lot of talk about how Kyle Hamilton is a generational player. And if you've been with me for a good amount of time, since at least last draft, you'll know that I don't love that term. I think it gets thrown around way too much. And to me, Kyle Hamilton is a very good player, but he's not a generational player. He doesn't set the precedent for a generation of talent. You look at guys like Kyle Pitts last year, generational talent. Why? Not only because he was a blue chip player that's really good at a lot of things, but when was the last time that you saw a tight end that came out in the first round, went 4th overall, and was dominant in college the way Kyle Pitts was dominant in college? Travis Kelce and George Kittle are great tight ends in the NFL, but they were both 3rd and 5th round picks or whatnot. Kyle Hamilton is a great safety, and he'll go high, but then we get into that conversation about value, and we'll get into that a little later. Kyle Hamilton's a great safety, but is he generational? I don't think so. So he's just a really, really good safety, and he does a lot of things well, but I don't think he's generational. This first play is just one example of something that I don't love about him. He's going to be right here. Kyle Hamilton has a tendency to be a very L word, and if you don't understand what L word means, it means lazy. I don't love the effort that he puts onto the field sometimes. I don't think it's 100%, quite frankly, and this play is a good example of it. He's going to be right here. He's going to read this little drag route underneath, and he does a good job of trying to push to the outside, work outside in, because this number 11 cat's trying to get outside of the numbers. Kyle Hamilton does a good job of recognizing that and then being able to push outside, right? And then forcing this receiver here to turn inside. But then he is in a perfect position to come off this block and make a tackle here, and he doesn't. It seems like he goes for it and backs out. And this is an example of Kyle Hamilton maybe making a business decision. He knows at this point, this is 2021 Florida State. He knows at this point that he's going to be making a lot of money, and he may not want to risk an injury to lose that money. So he's going to make a business decision here. I get it. Go get your money, but at the same time, I need you to play 100% on the field. And I don't know whether that's a business decision, or I don't know whether that's just straight up laziness. So it's definitely something to watch. This is really one of the only things that I don't love about him in terms of weakness. I think he's a little L word, and this play was especially a good example of it. Just again, we see him do a great job up until the point where he has to make a tackle and he whiffs. So interesting point there. Now, is he a bad tackler maybe? No, he's not. He's a great tackler, and this play is a good example. He's going to be again right here on this hash. He's going to read the run, come down and fill, and what you see here is Kyle Hamilton does a great job in the open field of being able to track the hip, run to the nearest shoulder, and be able to make a very good tackle on this quarterback on this draw here. It's going to be a read option. The quarterback makes a bad read, but anywho, he's going to keep getting it. He's going to be in the open field. All this green grass is here. Kyle Hamilton is one guy that has to cover that space. And what we see Kyle Hamilton do is he's going to go inside again to force this quarterback back inside to where his help is. But at the same time, Hamilton slows down, chops his feet. We see him chopping his feet right here. Let's go back and watch him chop his feet. He's able to do that, and then he's able to adjust right here and then make a very good tackle. You notice that he's an enforcer here. He doesn't catch. He forces the tackle. A really good tackle from a guy who's 6'4", long as hell, and he does a really good job of being able to come in and make that tackle. I liked that play a lot from Kyle Hamilton, and it shows that he's active in the run support. He just sometimes is a little lazy at other points. And this play is really good because it shows how good he can be in coverage and his upside against the pass. And since the NFL is a pass-happy league, you're looking for guys who are going to be, especially at the safety position, you're going to be looking for guys who are great at pass coverage over guys who are great at run coverage. And Kyle Hamilton can do both, but this play is a great example of him being able to cover the pass really well. He's going to be man-on with the number 3 here, so we count from inside. So we go 1, 2, 3. He's your number 3 guy in this trip set. Kyle Hamilton is man-on right here, and he does a good job kind of moving with him inside. If he gets the pass right here, the linebacker's there to clean up the tackle, but as he gets deeper, Kyle Hamilton's going to have to cover him, and he does a good job of feeling out the route, and when he breaks outside, he's going to break with him, doesn't lose a bit of steam there. By putting his hands on him, he's going to be able to feel that route out and move with him. And then the closing speed and burst to come up and pick up that interception is nice. He's able to get out in the open field, and his athleticism in space is very good. He accelerates quickly, he's bursty, he has good movement skills, and especially right here of being able to undercut this route across the field. The quarterback should have never really thrown that. He was under pressure, but regardless, Kyle Hamilton is able to stick with it here and then come up and undercut that. That's a great play from Kyle Hamilton. Good ball skills of being able to recognize that, hey, I can go get that. I can go make a play on that, and going in and getting that. I love to see plays like that from a safety, and you don't see a lot of safeties be able to make those plays. Kyle Hamilton is one of those guys, of him just being able to catch up, use that closing speed, and undercut that route. Nice play. This play is another great example of Kyle Hamilton being able to come down and fill. We talk a lot about that from free safeties. You want them to fill gaps and be able to come and make stops in the run. Kyle Hamilton does a great job of that. He's playing 15 yards off here, so we got 5, 10, 15 yards from the line of scrimmage, and he ultimately comes up to the 30 and makes this tackle. Watch how he reads it, and he's going to immediately burst to the outside and try and close that outside gap, forces hit this running back inside where the help is, understands those tackling angles and being able to target shoulders and hips and whatnot really well as an open field tackler. And he's able to chop his feet. He stops a little bit here, which I don't love, but he's still able to come in and make a tackle right here, right? We're going to see him do that right here and be able to just wrap around the ankles and make a play. I don't think he was in great positioning because he didn't buzz his feet enough to move inside to make a real tackle, so that's kind of probably why he stopped his feet and then was able to come in and make that play. Still a really good job of reading the play, getting to it, and then being able to come in and make that tackle by filling the outside gap and working from there. You love to see that open field tackling ability from Hamilton. And in terms of safety plays that I've watched, this has to be one of the most impressive plays that I've ever seen from a safety or a defensive back in general. Kyle Hamilton's going to be here on the left hash, the right hash for the defense, the far hash on your screen. He's going to come from here all the way over here. Let's check it out. He doesn't even need to either. His zone is really over there, but he's able to move. Look at the athleticism of getting over there, the range. That's a beautiful, beautiful play. That is a long distance to cover, and he does so in the matter of 2 to 4-ish seconds. That's insane. I mean, you don't really ever see players who are able to cover ground like that without athleticism, right? So he's going to take his read steps, come back into zone coverage, it seems. I don't really know where his zone is because they seem like they're playing 3 under, then 2 over the top. So perhaps he's supposed to be over here. Perhaps his corner's supposed to be over here in a cover 2 look. Either way, Kyle Hamilton is able to move across the field, drop into his zone, and then see the ball be thrown. And this is where he really picks it up, right? And he's going to sprint over there, that burst, that speed. A lot of times you see Kyle Hamilton jogging because I know that he can sprint like that, and that's not the speed he goes at all the time. So you can tell the sprint is there, and he's able to come in and make a play. That's ball skills and instincts all the way. I love being able to see stuff like that and go, if you can try and make a play on that, you might as well go and try to it, and he does so here. That is a very great interception, especially in zone coverage, and probably, again, like I said, one of the best plays from a safety I have ever seen, being able to cover ground like that and get over there to get the interception. And we've talked about instincts a little bit. This is a play that I really feels demonstrates Kyle Hamilton's instincts very well, and as an instinctive player, I don't feel Kyle Hamilton is amazing at it. I feel like he kind of most of the time reads and goes through the motions, so he reads and reacts a little slow rather than feeling out where the play is going, reading his subtle keys and getting there. This is a play where he reads the subtle keys really well, and we're going to see him right here. This number 8 guy is just going to run a flat route outside. He sees that and is able to go in and make a play on that, or it might be this motion man, one of the two. Either way, Kyle Hamilton sees it. Right, this number 8, it would be number 8. He was sprinting out into the flat. Kyle Hamilton, notice how his helmet's this way. He's watching him sprint out to the flat. He says, "Oh, I'm gonna go get this play." The speed to come downhill, and it was number 9. My apologies, but either way, he sees right here the motion and number 9 being able to come this way. So he's going to be able to move over there really quick, get on number 9's back, and be able to cause a pass breakup just because he gets over there so fast and makes a big play on that. And that's a linebacker type instinct play that I think Kyle Hamilton executes here to perfection. Being able to just move. Again, he's crossing a lot of ground here. He's coming from the midfield to outside of the hash, almost to the numbers. That's a great play to the numbers. That is an amazing play of being able to move and cover ground that quickly, all in the matter of, again, 2 to 3 seconds. Being able to go make a play on that ball. Good ball skills, good instincts as a whole, like I said. That's just one of the best examples, again, that I've seen from Kyle Hamilton. And on this play, once again, we talk about the quickness and the athleticism of Kyle Hamilton, the range of Kyle Hamilton. I also like to talk about pursuit angles, right? We're going to see Kyle Hamilton come from the center field position and take a great pursuit angle to that running back. If that defensive lineman wasn't, or the linebacker or whatever, this guy right here wasn't there, Kyle Hamilton would have been right on making that play and anticipating that angle to meet the ball carrier where he met him. Again, you see him take a little bit sharper of an angle and then cool off right about here where he goes a little bit more flat to get there. That's a good play and a good job of being able to read the play and adjust to the angle that he's taking. Also, another thing I want to talk about is pre-snap. You don't see Kyle Hamilton in single coverage a lot, and this is a run play, but I'd like to see, especially as a free safety, Kyle Hamilton in single high coverage a little bit more as the one high coming out of the center field position, because I think his range can really help him play there, and his athleticism in space can really help him play there. And this play is a good example of being able to come down and then adjust your angle to make him play on that. I'd just like to see more of that. I don't think Notre Dame puts him in a good position to do that a lot, which is, I think, where he could be most valuable on the next level. Again, of being able to come down or fall back and come up to make those coverage plays. I just think this is another really good play of the athleticism, the range, and the instincts from Kyle Hamilton. And earlier I talked about Kyle Hamilton being able to be an enforcer of tackles in the open field. This is another great example as we transition to the Cincinnati tape. He's coming from this hash, reads run to the outside, this little flat to the outside. He's immediately coming down once he sees Ritter throw the football. And again, we're talking about filling outside in. So he's going outside to force the running back inside where the rest of his help is. Another good technique in the open field, but he's also able to adjust, square up, and then be able to tackle him. Look how square he is at the tackle. He is shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip with this guy, and his hips and shoulders are also facing the end zone, facing the back line and all the yard lines and whatnot. He does a really good job of staying square to the ball and then being able to wrap up right here and push him down. That's a big boy tackle right there. That's going to be a game-defining play because he stops that running back right in his tracks and puts him on the ground. Just a good example of Kyle Hamilton's dominance as a run support player. And something I haven't talked about much yet is that Kyle Hamilton is 6'4", 200 enough pounds, and big and long as hell arms. And we're going to see a good example of him being able to do that here. He's going to be right here for your reference, coming off on a blitz. And he's just going to bat the ball down using his athleticism to be able to jump and then put his arms up. His arms are long, and he's going to be able to do that not only just right there on a blitz, but he's also going to be able to do that in the center field when he has to break up a pass or going up and make an interception. That's a great play of just being able to read it and then use his length and his size to his advantage. I think Kyle Hamilton does a very good job of that, and that's just a small example of him being able to do that right here. Great job of being able to read it and then use your length. Good size on a prospect. I mean, one of the biggest safeties I've probably ever watched. Just all around, he's a really, really good player. And again, man, I think this is one of the most impressive parts about Kyle Hamilton's game. He's going to start almost from the closest hash to your screen and be able to move all the way across the field. He's got that sideline to sideline ability and take that use of speed to be able to get over there, take a good pursuit angle to get over there. One of my favorite parts of his game is being able to do that. And while that is a valuable portion in the run game, he also is able to do that in the pass game, and I think that just speaks to his versatility as a player. And you noticed throughout the course of this film session, he's lined up here, he's lined up here, he's lined up in two high looks, he's lined up in one high looks, he's lined up in the box. He's a very versatile player. He's lined up in press man coverage at times. He's a very versatile player that you can use in a variety of abilities. Where he can be successful, and this is just one example of putting him in the box and letting him run around, be speedy and be a big athlete to be able to come in and make those tackles. That's a great ending play for him. This is play 10. This is it for me. I really love that play from Kyle Hamilton. So overall, we talk about blue chip players. I haven't covered many on this channel. I have 6 blue chip players this year, and Kyle Hamilton is the 3rd that I've watched on this channel. He's crazy, and he's a very good safety, don't get me wrong. But there's 2 things that really need to come into consideration when you talk about Kyle Hamilton. Number 1 is generational talent. I don't think he's a generational talent, and he's a great player, and he's a blue chip player. And to be a generational talent, in my mind, you need to meet 2 criteria. You need to be a blue chip player, and you need to be better than the guys that have come before you that have been generational, if there are any guys there. For example, Kyle Pitts last year, blue chip player, right? There hasn't been a tight end in the last 10 to 12 years that has been that highly rated, so he was a generational player. Quentin Nelson, blue chip player for sure, and he was one of the best guards that has come out in the last couple of years. Saquon Barkley, the same way, blue chip player, the best running back, better than the Leonard Fournettes and the Dalvin Cooks of the years past to come out in the draft. That you get what I'm saying. Kyle Hamilton, at the surface, it looks like it. He's great. He's a blue chip player. You haven't thought of a lot of safeties to come out in the last 8 to 12 years. And then you start thinking, well, there's Jamal Adams. Well, there's Derwin James. I'll stop you right there. I don't think Kyle Hamilton is better than Jamal Adams. I'd rather have Jamal Adams coming out than Kyle Hamilton. And that's not a knock against Kyle Hamilton. I'm not trying to hate on Kyle Hamilton. I just don't think he is the generational player that we're touting him up to be. At free safety, sure. As a safety as a whole, it's a reach. So I don't think he's a generational player in my mind. He's a very good player. Again, don't get me wrong. I love him. I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's generational. The thing that's going to sink his draft stock the most is the fact that he plays safety. And that sucks for him because he's a great, great player, and he's a blue chip talent, and you should pick him just based off talent alone. But because he's a safety, he's going to get valued differently. The NFL doesn't value safety the same way they value an edge rusher, an offensive tackle. If you're sitting on the board and you're Houston at 3, you have an option over an offensive tackle, an edge rusher, and a safety. Safety, even if he's the best player on the board, is probably going to be the 3rd on your list. And that's just the way things go sometimes. I hope he gets picked high. I think he deserves to get picked high. He's a very good player, but I don't know if he will. And that's really what hurts him. As a whole, though, as a player on the field, on the tape, he's great. And there's no denying that. And I think the 10 plays that I picked out really showed that off. So if you enjoyed this type of video, make sure to like and subscribe. I like doing these top prospects a little bit more just because there's so much good to talk about. But anyhow, if you enjoyed it, make sure to like and subscribe, share. We got more content coming. Next video is going to be a big one. We're going to be covering Malik Willis, so make sure to stay tuned for that one. But if you guys enjoy this one, again, I appreciate the support and whatnot. So I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.